all the data was there from the very beginning. Anyone who spoke out and cited that data from the beginning about children being essentially at no risk, about how something as extreme as lockdowns was never going to work. It just couldn't. It sort of denies our basic humanity. And that all that data was available from the beginning, but anybody who sort of put it out there from the beginning got smeared and retreated. Many people, there were early articles in the New York Times by scientists whose names we don't hear now because they just decided it wasn't worth it. And then you have people like Dr. Bhattacharya who continued to speak out, journalists like David Zweig. So I don't know. It sort of started like, I didn't have a following on social media, but I just was like in my nice lady corporate voice, are we sure this makes sense? I'm not a very combative person. I would cite data. I would post articles in respectable publications. I thought, that's not going to get me in trouble. But very quickly, I realized this was more contentious than I realized. And I built a platform sort of slowly over time because they're just moms basically across the country who were speaking out about kids. And I really focused on children. I thought that was a bridge that, no one wants to harm children. So it was sort of like, I thought, a gateway drug to question COVID restrictions. I was wrong. There was no questioning that was permissible at all in the first 3 years. And I would say even now it's, questionable whether it's permitted. We can get to that. But I just kept going. And, the minute people started to come after me, my friends, my family, my neighbors, people chased me down the street screaming at me that they wouldn't care if my children died and I will deserve it when my children die. It was like the world went insane. And I felt like if I can be this calm voice and speak the truth, the children need it, our civil liberties need it, somebody has to do it. And the more I was told that I couldn't, the more I got mad. I do get mad at a certain point. And, for me, a real kind of tipping point was in the fall of 2020, all of the private schools opened in San Francisco. And my kids went to public school. I might be the only executive that lived in San Francisco that had children in public school. And all the people screaming and singing out their window about staying home to stay safe and calling me a Nazi and a bigot and a murderer were sending their kids to in-person private school. So it was the most elitist, disgusting thing. 60% of the children in San Francisco public schools are low income or below the poverty line. We were harming the most vulnerable among us. And I just can't, I don't know. I made a choice at a certain point that I was either going to keep standing up for children and possibly alter the course of my life forever, which is what happened, or I was going to be a coward. And I decided not to be a coward.